Hey y'all, it's your girl Millichun. I just want to welcome you all to Millichun TV. Thank you for being here. Um, Today we have a very special guest, the Chief Nosy Bystander herself, Stephannie
Hello.
Hall. Stephannie, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Millie Chun?
I'm doing good, girl. I wanted to tell you that I wanted to have you on here because I wanted to thank you publicly. I
Well,
really
thank you.
do. I really want to thank you publicly because you you like pushed me out in here. I'll never forget when this Nosy Bystanders TV came about and we talked about it. It was all new to me. It was like I didn't understand what was going on, but you were so patient. And what I want to get into, first of all, thank you, thank you, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
But what I want to get into is Stephannie Hall, the Chief Nosy Bystander. I want to know how this came about, what about you, because I think that we love your storytelling, right?
hmm
We love your voice, we love your delivery, we love the way you dig into it, and you keep us coming back,
Well,
right?
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I
Yes,
thank you.
because I found you with the Cora Jake situation,
hmm Yeah,
and that was a rabbit hole that
yeah,
it was deep and endless. It was the abyss of the Nosy Bystander.
yeah. The story it is insane. I mean, there's a lot going on, and there's so many moving parts, and you know the Potter's house is so big, so you have people coming out of the woodwork. So
Yes.
you had to like categorize everyone's stories on the most important to the least important. And so yeah, it was I mean, it's not like out of my realm. Like I have a
Right.
background in research and analytics. So it was just having to do the entire thing, categorize all of the interviews and note taking, and then putting it together in a 3 minute. I mean, because that was back when TikTok only had 3 minute videos. So it was like
Yes.
putting that together.
Yes. Like how many? Like 12 videos? Like 7 videos?
It turned out to be 11 videos, altogether total 12. Actually, you're right, 12 videos
Yeah.
altogether total, in an entire 48-minute series. It was massive. It was probably the longest series that I think I've ever done, next to the Wendy Williams series, which I think was like 8 videos.
Yeah.
So then I had to take a step back. I said, this is too much. It's too
Yeah.
much,
It
really.
was a lot, and because I was like, who is this girl? Because my friend sent this to me. She's a girl because we live in Texas and we go to the Potter's house. So I was like, what? We gotta go to church on Sunday. I just gotta go here and see. Girl, I went to church like every Sunday.
What was it like? What was it like going to church that following Sunday when that video came out? What was the atmosphere?
Um, the atmosphere was as always because they
Mhm,
are true followers,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
And I want to say you could kind of tell they alluded to something, when the devil is on you and blah blah blah. You got, but it was like because I was like, I gotta go. I gotta go.
Yeah,
I went a
yeah.
couple of Sundays after that. Like I was just wanted to see how it was, and it never just came out the Chief Nosy Bystander, but you could tell. You could tell. You were on the frontal lobe. You were
I
definitely on the
know. I
frontal
know
lobe, girl. That that
I
got
know
me
they
so.
was shook. But it's not our
Yes.
fault, right? It's a very large family
Hmm.
protecting their daughter. And my personal opinion is probably clinically insane. He should have been committed a long time ago. You know what I
To my
mean? Like,
Cora.
hmm
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that, but like she's definitely was it not Ethel Kennedy, Rose, she's definitely a Rosemary Kennedy candidate, right? Send her up to upstate New York and just leave her there, because those type of people who do that kind of damage, alleged
Yeah.
damage,
Yeah.
like they cannot be in the public space, like because they are seeking to get what they want, no matter how they get it, right? Coercion,
Right.
money, whatever. So but I imagine the atmosphere out there was probably pretty.
Oh yeah, it was different. It was
Mhm.
different. But let's get into you, Stephannie, because I've always wanted to talk to you about because you were just so captivating, right? And I have very short attention span. So for me to come back and listen for 3 minutes, for 6, 9, all of the minutes,
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot. I was like, oh my God, who is she? I just thought you were phenomenal. So where are you from?
Where am I from?
Hmm.
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really talk about where I'm from often because the crazies like digging, but yeah, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, born and raised.
Okay. And you
Mhm.
now live in Arizona, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Because I remember you saying, I don't know why people feel like I'm in California. I felt like that too.
A lot of people get that vibe, just because the
Yeah.
West Coast and it's always sunny,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's the regular vibe people get.
So you said you have a background in research and analytics. So what is your educational background?
My educational background is I have a degree in political science from Elmhurst University, and I did a concentration on mostly like nuclear weapon deals, like um, you know, um, tort law,
Hmm.
um, constitutional law, civil rights and civil liberties. So like it's just a lot of reading, really.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of reading, a lot of building graphs, a lot of charting data.
Because I know you would tell me, you was like, Millichun, you just gotta dig deep. You just gotta dig deep. And I was like, what is she talking about? I have been all over this, but I see what you mean now. Like
Yeah,
but you really do. Like I will say that about you. You go to the end, and it may hurt some feelings,
yeah, but it's
but
the truth.
you give the facts. And I mean, like I said, that's what we love about you. Just your storytelling alone. So fast forward to TikTok.
Hmm.
How did you come on TikTok? Because I came on TikTok. I think I had made like a post for my Founders Day, and
Hmm.
then I was making some sounds and stuff like that. But how did you come into TikTok?
Well, because I have a background in political science, I used to just find myself on like political content. So when people would post stuff or something, I'd be in the comments like, "That's actually incorrect," or "Yeah, that's actually correct," or things like that.
Yeah.
And people would ask, "So how do you know this?" And I would just tell them like, because of my degree. And so I kind of started off with like just correcting misinformation, not bad misinformation, just like real simple misinformation that I would see in videos and things of that nature, or wild conspiracy theories that just like scare people. I'd always, so people found me that way, and
Yeah.
then I would just help them and post political content on my page that was like referencing articles or the study that I may have seen or know a friend who'd been working on or things of that nature, and then that's just kind of like how it started there.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay then. And so now we're gonna fast forward too, because like you said, you made those posts, you political black background, and that's kind of was your wheelhouse. So
Mhm.
let's go to Nosy Bystanders TV,
Okay.
because that was really amazing. And for you to create that with content creators in mind,
Yeah.
you gave us, well, for me, I just want to say thank you because you helped me with my interviewing skills.
Because you can interview Millichun. It's about because interviewing it is difficult, right? That's why I don't
Yeah,
conduct interviews unless I'm looking for something,
right.
and I'm not a very nice person when I interview. So, but when you interview people, and you have to be like friendly to them, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You gotta do two things. You gotta be friendly, but you also have to be very keen on listening to what they say, so you can process a response
right.
immediately. So in your beginning, it was very much just being nice, but then you
Mhm.
started really like digging in, like
Yeah,
they would say something in passing, hoping you didn't catch it, and then you would catch it, and I'm like, okay, she's getting it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Because it was
yeah.
like, because like after it was over, I don't know who it was. I think it was before Carlos King, and you
Mhm.
were like, you really got to go for it. You really got to get, because it was the Candy Burris and Carlos King situation. And I
Yeah.
was like,
He
Stephanie,
was
I can't
opening the
ask.
door. He
I
had
was
the
like,
door wide open,
I was
and he
like,
was waiting.
yeah, I was like, I can't ask him about it. He's already messaged me and told me we can talk about the housewives, but we can't talk about a particular housewife. And
Hmm.
that's all I wanted to talk about. But
Hmm.
we got around it, and it was good. It was real
Yeah.
good. So I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah. No problem.
So how did Nosy Bystander TV come about?
It's just a play on words. And so I just wanted to see about expanding what I already did.
Mhm.
So that's really how it came about. It wasn't anything like cutting edge or,
No, I mean, as far
philosophical.
as the idea of creating a network.
Yeah,
behind?
so just
Okay.
trying to branch out and just try something different, really.
Okay.
Just taking a risk and be like, okay, well, let's just see how this plays out and how I can do this and what's this about. And, that's really it. It wasn't anything, again, nothing thought provoking. It was just, can I try something else,
Hmm.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed my time there. I really did. So, where is Nosy Bystanders today? No,
So
Nosy
right
Bystanders
now,
team.
so right now we're having all of our data transferred over from Roku to an Android and iPhone app because
Okay.
we're launching two reality shows. Um,
Really?
yeah, the one I can't even discuss just because of NDAs, and then the second one, it's a dating show. That one is going to be pretty. I mean, I met some of the cast members. They're all clinically insane, but I think they're going to make the show really good. I think it's going to be like the next Baddies East, if not better.
Is it
So
is it people that's really looking for love, dates?
they're looking for a sugar daddy. They're not looking for anything. There's there's no love there. Now they say they love him. They say they love him, but I don't think they do. And he just wants a younger girl. He's just being honest. He's like, look, I know it's about the money. You know what I mean? Like I know it's about the money. So he's just down for the count. So yeah, it's not. There's no love. There's no bachelorette. There's
How
no
old is
rose.
he?
The guy, the sugar daddy, the bachelor, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't know how old he is. I'd say he's probably in his late 40s, if I take a guess. I
Okay.
never asked him his age. I probably should, but I don't think it really matters. But yeah, he's older. He's probably in his late 40s. And the girls competing are in their very, very early 20s. So 23, I think, is the youngest, to 27 is maybe the oldest. So yeah, these are young women. You know what I mean? These are young women who are vying for this man's pockets.
So, is he well off? He's very well off. Where is he from?
He's from the Detroit land area. So
Oh, okay.
he looks like he's got some money. So I mean,
Oh,
again,
well, yeah, Gary, I'm sure he's a little you're not flamboyant, but I'm sure he's a little extra too.
oh yeah, definitely. Very,
Hmm.
very extra, being from the Great Lakes region. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I mean, I got to be there to shoot it, so I don't know what it's going to entail. I'm like, there's security. We'll have security because a lot of the girls hate each other. They know each other, which makes the show a little bit different because they're not going into it blind. They all
Right.
know each other. They just don't like each other. So because they're all his sugar babies, except maybe like two of them who are vying to be his new sugar baby. So he wants like an army of sugar babies, whatever.
Oh my
So yeah.
goodness, that is crazy.
It's good TV.
Is it called Sugar Babies? Find a Sugar Daddy. What is it
It's
called?
called I don't think they've worked on the name yet, but I think they're gonna call it Uchi and the Babes. His name is Uchi. That's his name. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like Hoochie without the H. It's called Uchi and the Babes, and that's what because they're sugar babies, right? They're babes.
Yeah.
He always calls them babes. So I'm like, I talked to him and I was like, what about Uchi and the Babes? I kind of like it. I was like, okay, well, maybe that's what we'll go with. So
Wow.
um, yeah, so reality TV, put them all in a house, cameras, security,
Right.
obviously, and different games they compete, at, and then there's off time where they'll be able to mingle and commingle and talk to each other. Yeah.
Well, you got people in here talking about I'm watching. I just screamed. Wait, what? Girl, this is going to be crazy. But you know what? Honestly, Stephanie,
Hmm.
it's right on topic. Like it's right on topic for today's reality TV.
Yeah. I think
Because
reality
it's
TV is too. I personally think that producers are too obsessed with name recognition, like getting the hottest celebrity name on their reality show, and then the show ends up boring and dry, right?
yeah, yeah.
And nobody wants to watch that. Look what happened to
Nope.
Atlanta Housewives. It's just
Oh yeah.
they were vying to keep these big names, and then now everyone's storylines look either fake, made up,
Yep.
tired. Like, God,
Yep.
are you guys still fighting? You're almost 60. So like,
Exactly.
mhm.
And that's why I was so like, I'm not saying these people don't need to work. I'm not saying that. But my thing is, when the Housewives first came on, we didn't know any of those women. So I think the new thing is just something fresh to, something new, something we don't know about, something we can learn about. And then if you already know going in what this show is going to be about, that helps. Because like when you have, what is it? Just like Ready to Love, right? Like in my mind, I'm thinking these people are really, really here to really, really find someone to really love and grow old with.
Yeah.
And nobody's together.
Yeah.
And then you can see it, like you see it with the matches. Like, how are they? But like with your show, you already know what you're gonna get. So you're just trying to see who's gonna win. That's the good part about it.
Yeah. It's like more of a competitive show.
Yeah.
With the dash of like, whatever. And these people are complete strangers to all of you. So you're going to be able to build relationships with them via the TV.
Right.
Determine which ones you like, which one you love, which one you hate, which one you want to be eliminated, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the goal. The goal is to give other people a chance to be on TV. Like, because I'm tired. I was just talking about this the other day. There's a show. I'm not entirely sure what the name is on BT. It's a bunch of these rappers, baby moms. I don't know what the show is called. But I said, what is that about? What is that?
Yeah.
What is that even about? But I guess these women have made a name for themselves just by,
being rappers, babies, moms.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, this is a mess. And so, it's just, people are tired of that. Just give us something new, give something new and funny, new and funny, and maybe a little bit of tussling and maybe a little bit of mess, but overall,
I feel like I think that is great because we already know how that's going to end. We already know how this is going to end. That's going to be great to see. It's not something I'm like, oh my God, he's going to get married to one of these girls. Yeah. He just wants some companionship.
He does. He just wants another babe, That's what he calls himself. Listen, Uchi is a character. But yeah, he makes it very clear, and the sugar babies make it very clear. They love him.
Yeah.
But for what he can give them, obviously. But again, I'm not a psychologist, so I don't care about the nature of their relationship, but I think it'd make for good TV.
So let me ask you, where, after all of this, what is the biggest dream that you have set for yourself?
You said dream, like a dream?
Yeah, like if I could see myself in 5 years where I am on the road to going, where will it be?
I don't know. I don't really do that. No, I just kind of live like, I don't know, I guess in the moment. Yeah, just, because I always get what I want. So I never have to think about what if I could have that, or what could be the case. It's, if I'm just like, okay, I want to shoot a reality show, I'm just going to shoot a reality show. And
I love it.
You know what I mean?
I love it.
So yeah, maybe potentially just like completely getting off of TikTok for good. I guess that'd be a dream of mine. And then
really?
Yeah, TikTok is I don't know. It's just, I'm done. I feel like I've accomplished it.
It's very censored. I will give you that. It's very censored.
Not even the censorship. I just feel like I've accomplished it. Like I got the followers. I can go viral. I can go mini viral. I can go mega viral. Okay, I've done that 20 times over, and then what's next,
Maybe if you just get us, maybe we can just have another something like TikTok and something else.
Maybe reality TV. I like reality TV. I think it's funny.
Like reality TV too. But I will say this. When I started all this and even started with Nosy Bystanders and doing all and talking to people, I wanted to be on reality TV. I really.
You have the perfect backstory. You're an AKA, right? You went to Ole Miss.
I went to Alabama A&M University.
You went to Alabama A&M. You live near Huntsville,
in Huntsville. I was in Huntsville.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The only thing you would have needed was just like some, I don't know if you're married or not, but rope some man into the show and bam, bing, bang, boom. You got a reality show.
Yeah, but girl, it's a lot. Like reality TV is something else. I just rather do this on a bigger platform. You know what I'm saying? I really want my own talk show because I can sit here and talk to the reality people. Because it's a lot.
It's a hard thing to get into. Look at Love B. Scott, and shout out to Love B. Scott because I reference a lot of her articles. But look at Love B. Scott. She literally goes to dinner with every housewife you can think of, probably 3 nights a week, can't seem to get a reality show, or can't even get a reality show or a talk show. And I'm like, that's crazy, because Love B. Scott is like the girl's girl,
Yeah.
So it's just wild. It's a hard thing to break into, but you got to keep at it. You got to keep at
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I do. I do. I reach out to where I think I need to reach out, and you're just such an inspiration, Stephannie, for that. But I will say that you gave me that foundation,
Well,
because like
I
when I
appreciate
started on TikTok and things like that, and then when I got with Nosy Bystander TV, I was like, okay, wait a minute, like this, okay, I need to do this, and that propelled my mind
yeah.
to say, okay, I'm doing this, and I'm going to do, and they're going to recognize me. I want to be a household name, and this is how I do it. And I really appreciate you for doing that for me.
Well, you're welcome.
I really do.
You and Elle, you're very like, I don't know, maybe the biggest takeaway would be probably getting management, right? Because they're the ones who are going to get your foot in the door into
Yeah,
studios, and now the
yeah.
studios are ramped up again after the strike. But yeah, get management and see about like trying to make a sizzle reel, which are
Mhm.
pretty cheap. You can make those, and then having them pitch it to a network for your own syndicated talk show, because no shade to Drew Barrymore and Jennifer Hudson, but they're boring as shit. They're boring. They're boring. I wouldn't watch.
Girl,
I
I
don't
was
even watch clips of them.
when I heard Jennifer Hudson had a reality show, and I mean a talk show. Don't get me wrong, love Jennifer Hudson. I've seen clips. I don't think I could just, because I didn't know if she was want to sing or she wanted to interview people, sing and interview.
I don't know
You
what
know,
that is. I don't know. Whoever is in her camp, obviously they're eating because they're getting paid. But whatever production company decided, yeah, Jennifer Hudson is the one,
I
was
couldn't even
so
see that. I didn't even
impressed.
see that coming.
It's terrible. It's boring. She's like there's nothing wrong with being boring. And Sherry Shepherd too. Her show's boring as hell
Oh,
too.
I was almost about to say it. I was
Yeah.
like, now that's the seat that I should have had. I
Mhm.
could have sat in that seat.
Yeah, she's
Her
just
her comedy,
boring.
like she's practicing comedy on TV every day, and I don't, and she's not a good comedian. I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk about people like that, but it's the truth.
I do. I don't feel bad. They're boring. And if I was a producer in those studios, I'd be like, get them out of here. Like, what
Yeah,
is this? And as someone who's getting my foot in the door of producing, right?
yeah,
Like, I could see talent a mile away. I'm like, I will watch a show with Millichun who talks about the tea, and then I'd make sure she have a really good producer with her to make sure
right.
she didn't lose her personality and trying to sell or sing or whatever, or tell
Nope,
jokes and whatever.
nope,
You know what I mean? So
nope.
yeah, they need to cancel those shows pronto. And
It is.
Tamron Hall. Take Tamron Hall too. I love her, but she got to go because she's just boring as
You know what? I just never even realized. I never think about it until I get sent, whatever I'm going to talk about for the day. And when I go through all of my topics for the day, I'm like, oh, Tamron Hall. Totally forget about her.
she's very
Totally forget about
forgettable.
her.
She's very forgettable. She is. Don't get me wrong. She gets notable
Yeah.
interviews, but the problem with Tamron Hall is that because she's a seasoned journalist and she's a decorated journalist,
Mm-hmm.
because she is such a decorated journalist and she has sat down with politicians and Saudi leaders and things like
Right.
that. Her trying to transition that over to talking to reality show stars, she comes off as a cunt. So people are like, but world leaders can see it a mile ahead. They're like, okay, she's asking these pointed questions. But if you're just a person on TV who's just a personality and she starts hitting
Yeah.
you with political style questions, right? Like the way that she zeroes in on you, which is great if
Yeah.
she were on CNN or MSNBC, but it's not great when you have to be friendly. She's not friendly.
Right.
She's a pit
Yeah.
bull.
And I don't think she's very in touch. You know what I mean?
Because she makes it's a running joke. I don't know if you watch Tamron Hall at all or go through her comments on YouTube, but it's a running joke that Tamron Hall does that her audience does not like, where she says, well, I don't watch that, or I didn't read that. And they're like, that doesn't make you better than us because we watch this celebrity.
Right.
So what's the
Oh,
joke?
is that how she comes off? Like,
It is. She comes off very much like I'm above reality TV, but it's like, that's funny because people are only watching this interview because you're sitting down with a reality TV star. So humble yourself. You know what I mean?
Gosh, I had no idea she was like. I mean, I don't watch Tamron Hall. I
She's
don't
just
watch her.
boring. She is. She's not meant for daytime, and that's just the hard truth. She's not meant for daytime television. The same way they tried to do with Megyn Kelly, the white lady from Fox News, and they tried to
I
give
know.
her a daytime TV
Horrible.
show. She's used to interviewing politicians,
Mhm.
Saudi leaders, leaders in the Middle East and leaders in Europe. Like, and then you try to sit her down and be like, "Oh, tell us about your cookie recipe." Nobody wants to hear Megan Hall talk or Megyn Kelly talk about that. We want to
No.
interview presidents. So yeah, Tamron Hall has to get off TV, or she has to like change her dynamic, which she
Yeah.
can't do because it's so ingrained in her.
Yeah, it's difficult. Like when she had the interview with Portia, I was like, wow. I was like, she's coming at
Nasty.
her
Nasty.
real
Portia
crazy.
is already a terrible person. The interview was a softball, and Tamron fumbled it because she just absolutely loathed Portia.
Horribly.
So if you mess up a already simply easy interview, you know what I mean? Like the entire premise of the interview is that she's a homewrecker who slept with her pseudo friend on a show's husband and stole him and had 26 weddings in Kenya. And you couldn't do that. And you had to be mean and nasty to her. I'm like, throw the whole interview away. Yeah.
It was horrible. It was horrible. I was like, I could not believe like and like Drew Barrymore. I had no idea she had a talk show until I saw like a little clip that I was supposed to talk about. Yeah. And I was like, well, what is this? Like she has a show?
What are we watching? What is this?
I had no idea.
Yeah. So Tamron Hall, Drew Barrymore, Sherry Shepherd, Jennifer Hudson get off of TV, but because they will take you off TV. Because there's just
I think for me, when Wendy left, I pretty much stopped watching daytime. I
watch The View still, though. I watch The View.
I don't watch The View. But I did hear them today talking about Jada Pinkett, though.
Yeah, I just like the hot topics. The best part of The View is the first 20 minutes. That's it.
That's it. And then we can go. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think there's a show, The Real, throw it off the air. The talk ended good. Because as soon as Tamar left, the ratings plummeted. So there's no good shows. A good show is like Fox Soul. That's good.
That's good. Yeah.
So Dish Nation. That's good.
Dish, and I like the way they're doing Dish Nation now. Mm-hmm. I like that. So yeah, that's the direction that I'm going into. Okay. That is my direction. So, and I feel like and like all those people you named, I was like, I can do that. That I can do. But so other than that, what else is going on? Is that the only thing that you really have on your plate right now, or are you thinking about
a reality show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do. So the reality show, they're just a lot. They're multi-state, so everything has to be shot in different cities. Okay. So, and then flying back and forth to Atlanta almost twice a month. Just keep flying back and forth to Atlanta over and over and over. I'm exhausted. You know what I mean? So, but that's where low key, that's where the talent is.
In Atlanta.
In Atlanta. It is. It's in Atlanta. Unfortunately, for other cities, they're going to have to get with the program because that is where the talent is, the untapped talent. When it comes to reality TV, it's not anywhere else. It's not in New Jersey. It's not in North Dakota. It's not in Los Angeles. It's nowhere. It's in Atlanta. Because you could literally go to a brunch spot and make an entire reality show out of 2 tables of women. You know what I mean?
Yes. So, and that's why I felt like it was so crazy for people from the Real Housewives of Atlanta to speak out and say that how, like, good luck in finding talent here. Like, it's talent there.
Yeah.
Like, because I would think that we were talking about it one night live on TikTok. We need a realtor. Like, all these homes that they live in, put the lady on here who's selling these homes. She's paid. She's got the money. Mm-hmm. You have producer wives, girlfriends that live in Atlanta.
Yeah. Car dealer. You have literal entrepreneurs like when I was in Atlanta, the last time I was in Atlanta, I stayed at the Ritz-Carlton. All I saw was Black people. Okay. And then every person, like, when I was like, I was downstairs near the bellhop and I was like, okay, I'm going to get an Uber. And they're just like, you don't have a car service? And every car service, these multi-million-dollar car services are owned by Black people. Why don't you have the entrepreneur's wife or, of the car service
Yes.
who, they do all the bachelor parties, and just simply picking people up for a day. I'm like, that's a multi-million-dollar business. That person's wife should be on the Atlanta Housewives. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, these are businesses. Yeah. Restaurant owners.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I don't know what this particular person was talking about when she was like, good luck in finding someone. What do you mean? It's probably somebody that lives next door to you that could give us better TV than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Sheree is done. Sheree Whitfield is done. I'm saying it. I said it. Said it.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There's a tons of Black millionaires in Atlanta who just mind their business, who probably wouldn't mind being on the next cast of Atlanta Housewives. And I'm like, that's crazy that you found because they were already, all of these people on the show were already millionaires before they were on the show, right?
Yeah.
So Candy and her selling her music and whatever, and Nene and her rich, husbands. I think Nene was a stripper or whatever. And then all that other stuff, right? So all the other people, and then Portia and Dennis and whatever. So they were already millionaires, but they were no names. So do they really think that we're supposed to believe that once these cast members are gone, that every millionaire in Atlanta had never been created after
and just working 9 to 5 at the plant?
Yeah. And even if they were, they'd still be more entertaining. You already told you how I feel about Candy. I don't like her or that little gremlin of a husband that she drags around with her all day, every day, terrorizing Atlanta. I'm just not a fan of her. I think she's a nasty person. And I think Todd is a nasty person. And I think her mama trifling too. And I'd be glad when they all get off the show. It's just a mess. They're a mess.
It's a lot.
They're awful people. And I'm like, in money, it wasn't money because Candy always had money.
Yeah.
It's who she is.
Yeah. But I think Candy I think she was good in the beginning because she was very humble to be on the
housewife. She looked like it too with the haircut. Remember the haircut?
Yes. Yes.
She was a housewife. She was a housewife.
And I felt like she was really good. Just even today I saw a promotion for her new dungeon thing that she's going to do. And I was like, she does so many things. Right?
Yeah.
And I think she just needs that. I'm not saying she needs that platform, but it does help. But I think it's time for some more people.
Yeah.
It's time. Atlanta is definitely tapped. Definitely tapped.
Yeah, it is.
Hello, Chad.
Yeah, it is for sure. Yeah, Atlanta Housewife reposition, but that's just the nature of television, right? Like what is it that people want to watch? When Nene Leakes left, I quit watching Atlanta Housewives. I'm not to be honest.
Now, I will say that I'm getting ready to do, after I do this, I think I'm doing one more thing today, and it's about Nene Leakes. And I was like,
that video of her crying.
Oh my God, girl, it's so crazy how, like, I felt like the Carlos King interview with Nene Leakes was it was personable, it was controlled, it was edited well. She was in a safe place with him because she knew him. They've worked together, they started out. So I felt like Nene coming on there, she looked great. She looked rich. She told her story. She got it all out.
Yeah.
I was fine with that. And let's just move on. But when she did the thing with Bethany, and I said that Nene needs to be careful because she could get canceled, everybody was like, what do you mean? How could she get canceled? I was like, Bethany is not the person Nene should be talking to.
Okay.
At all. Because Bethany was, like, when Nene asked her the question, she did all that. Nene went through everything that she talked about with Carlos. But when she got to the part with Bethany, she said, well, what would you do? Bethany said, if it was me and my life depended on this check, I probably basically would do what I have to do. That's the difference between Nene and Bethany. You know what I'm saying? And when Nene had showed up to her house, she just kept going about how many homes she has on an estate. Like how many
Bethany or Nene?
Bethany. Because Bethany flew her out. The driver picked her up. She was like, she drove her to this estate, and Bethany was in the main house, and I went to this cottage downstairs. She has her podcast information, and she kept saying, we started at the same time. How can she have all of this? Ma'am. Like, And then she said in there, she said, "What did I do?" Girl, you call Andy Cohen a person who does not like black people. You talk to the whole company crazy. They will have Bethany back on TV before Nene.
Oh, hands down. Now, Bethany Frankel is just a really smart business
Extreme,
person.
extremely smart.
And the reason why Nene, there's a number of reasons why Nene didn't take off, because that's a testament to her finances, right? And no,
Yep.
again, I don't pocket watch people because I don't want people doing it to me, but
Right.
that video breakdown was like a testament to how Nene might be. I don't say she's suffering financially, but she might be feeling like she should be further along in her finances, not
Yes.
necessarily her career, because Bethany Frankel doesn't really do anything. She just has a really good accountant, really good, CPA, really good tax manager who
Right.
diversify her assets. And that's why she has a home in the Hamptons and she can fly to New York and she's got a
Yep.
penthouse in New York and blase skip. And Nene probably just has that one house in Atlanta, you know what I
Yep.
mean? And so she
But
feels like I should have did more with my money. But
yes.
y'all, again,
But you can tell in that particular YouTube that she posted, like Lady D Hannah said, Bethany also had inheritance. And I
mhm,
was saying Bethany did not start out just like bottom poor, right?
yeah,
She didn't start out like that. Bethany tells the story how she was raised at the racetrack with horses and all that
yeah,
kind of stuff. She had a very fantastic life, but when she got on New York, she was at the bottom of the barrel for those ladies,
yeah,
not so much of her life. But like you said, she's smart, she has a business mind, and she's focused and she's driven. Nene out here worried about what Gucci is doing, and
yeah,
they're sending Bethany Gucci. It's
yeah,
a difference.
yeah,
But Nene's last one that I'm going to talk about today is where she talks about getting married just to have someone there. And I mean, just the fact that she in her bed, like she in a full size bed in her
I don't
bedroom,
think
like
I think there's more to that statement, right? Getting married to have someone there, that's not what it is. Nene Leakes is not lonely. Nene Leakes, when I heard that video, the first thing I thought was she wanted to marry like she did with Greg. Greg was the one who did everything, and Nene was
right,
living her soft life. She can't live
yeah,
her soft life when she has to constantly go and chase after work. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And money and endorsements and brand or whatever it is she does in her business. And so I think Nene, I don't think she was crying in the sense of I just want a man here, because Nene, she can have any man she wants. I think the message was it'd be nice to just be with a millionaire and then just live my soft life and then go, kind of like how
yeah,
Portia's living. Portia doesn't have to do anything, and she doesn't
nothing.
do
And now I
nothing.
would love to see Portia on The Housewife because that would be fun. She
Yeah,
would be fun. But I
yeah,
think it was the part where she was saying how she had gone to the doctor or something and she had to fill out emergency contact and she had to put her children down. That's what she was so torn
yeah.
up about. But I'm like you, like I don't know what this is giving right now. And this can't be the end. This can't be where Nene goes right here.
Because
It,
we get to a certain age, and like you get to a certain age, and older men with money,
mm-hmm.
they want someone half Nene's age.
Yeah.
you know and she can
Yeah.
tighten her cheekbones as much as she wants to, but you'll never be 20-year-old Nene,
Mm-mm.
stripping, who could bag a millionaire like that, you know what I
Yep.
mean? So like I think she's like I think she's getting to that point where she's like, will I ever listen, here's my advice to Nene, and that'll be the end of it. Go to
Okay.
Europe, okay? Go get you some white piece of royalty,
Yep.
right? And go live your soft life, because I tell you right now, if you're looking for a rich nigga in Atlanta, it's just not gonna
It's
happen.
not gonna happen.
You
It's
need to
not
go.
gonna happen.
You need to go
Because
ahead.
they definitely want somebody half your age and
Mhm.
probably a carry the one. They
And
definitely want
exactly.
somebody like that. Let's just be real. Let's just be
And in
real.
Europe,
You
they just want a black woman. You know what I
That's
mean?
it. That's
So
it. And they willing to do whatever.
mhm.
You don't have to do much.
There's I see videos like that all the time on TikTok, where black girls will literally go and meet their this one black woman met her husband in Turkey.
No.
Okay, met her husband in Turkey on a girls' trip, and she was like, "I didn't know that Turkish men were obsessed with black women." He ended up marrying her and buying her a villa in Italy, but she's just like, you better come to Turkey. You know what I mean? You better come to Mykonos. You know, you better come to
But
the
you
Greek
know what?
islands.
Let me tell you
Mhm.
something. We do Love and Relationship on Monday nights, right?
Mhm.
And we were talking about the first installment we did. We talked about we had a singles, and then the second episode we had two people who had just gotten engaged.
Mhm.
And she said on there, she was like, lives in Miami, he lives in Mississippi, and they met in Atlanta at a conference or whatever.
Mhm.
And she said that I knew I would never meet my husband in Miami.
Mhm.
I was like, that is correct. My ex-husband was in Japan. If you just looking around your own front door, probably not. He probably is not going to be there.
No,
No,
he's gonna
no.
be in a different world
Yeah.
than yours. You
And you're
got
going to
to.
have to open your mind up, and you're
Mhm.
going to have to say, forget what people think. What is
Mhm.
going to make me happy, because that's where I've come from. My core is happiness.
Yeah.
So if Mr. Turkey, after I get it together, is what's going to make me happy, not specifically, but you just need to figure out your happiness and your happy
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
10 times out of 10, he is not outside your door. He's not.
Mhm.
She's not either.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
not either.
exactly. Exactly. So she should just, put on your big girl draws and go to Europe and go meet you, because he's there, you know. There's a man, listen, there's more men than there's more women than men, but there's more available men than women. So like
Yeah.
she'll find one. She'll find one, you know.
Yeah.
And definitely don't compare yourself to Bethany Frankel, not with an inheritance.
Yeah,
You
because
know what
I
I
mean,
mean?
you could hear it in her voice. She was like, I mean, it's a reality TV star. She's got all of this. I was like, just go and say what you mean. How she got it and I don't.
Yeah.
I can answer that.
Yeah.
But like you said, we're done with that. Nene is gonna be Nene, and I can't worry about that. We'll just talk about it. But other than that, Stephanie,
Mhm.
this has been wonderful. Is there anything that you want to share with us before we go?
I think that's it. No, I
No.
got nothing else. I think you dragged everything out of me.
So wait a minute. Do you know when we may see the reality show?
So we want to put the trailer out with billboards and stuff sometime for the Uchi. That one won't air until April, May, but the other reality show will probably start see a trailer for it in February,
Ooh,
2024.
so 2024 is the year.
That one is going to be that one's a mess.
So is that all in the same place, or?
The Uchi one is filmed in Detroit. Uchi and the Babes is filmed in Detroit, the reality show. The other reality show is filmed in Atlanta. Sorry, I thought I heard a plane. Yeah, it's filmed in Atlanta. And it's a mess. It's a mess. I don't even know how to explain it. But when I spoke with the other producer, she goes by the name of Danny Craig. Shout out to her. Shout out to her, and Millichun, you would love her. She does the reunions for Love and Marriage. Does the Love and Marriage reunions.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So shout out to her, because when I pitched the story to her,
Mm-hmm.
she was like, "Okay, so you got any clips?" And I sent her a few clips, and she was like, "This can't be real." I said, "It's very real. These are real people acting a real goddamn fool on the real internet, and I think I can convince them to do a reality show and show you
I
this
love it.
foolishness." And
I
so
love
she's like, "All right, I'm game." And she just went all in. She'd like, she's always been like very like, she was just in it. She was just in it, and so, when we sat down with our videographers and, and they're just like, "This is insane." I'm like, "It is." They're like, "There's a big risk." Because we don't have a studio backing us. So,
Oh,
um, this is a independent project, but it's going to look like, shot in 4K with the high stream cameras
I
and drones.
love it. It's gonna be
So
wonderful.
yeah, I'm anticipating a number of studios are going to want to pick it up, because they're going to be like, "This is wild that you
Well,
even found these people."
I love it. Shout out to Chef Dun Dun. He's on here and he is doing a show in 2024.
Mhm.
It's for the LBGTQ, and y'all know the rest of it. I'm sorry, my bad. But I think he's doing amazing too, and I know he's doing it independently. And I'm excited for y'all with all of this, and I'm gonna find a way to get into it. So just be
I did. I
just
pitched.
wait. Just I'll call you next week, like, Steph, let me be the host of the reunion, girl.
We got a reunion host for one of the show. You know her too. I can't disclose her name, but you know
Yes.
her.
Yeah.
And we haven't pitched it to her yet, but we have her in mind because she's incredibly messy, but in a good way. And then, but for Uchi, we don't have anyone host the reunion. Apparently, it's very difficult to find production teams to shoot reunions. So the production team you get is not necessarily going to be the ones who shoot the reunions for some strange reason. And so when I finally got to sit down and talk with another videographer, he said, because they turn violent and a lot of cameramen don't like their cameras and equipment to get caught up in a tussle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Said, I never thought about that. But yeah, I could see why it's very hard to find camera people. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so can you, for us that are aspiring, people who hear this, who are aspiring to go further, do better, get into this TV life or anything like that, for myself, for Chef Dun Dun, could you give us something that just would help us to stay on the right path? Oh, Stephannie, I got something coming out. I'm gonna talk to you after this is over about it.
Okay. My best advice is to build your own team. Don't rely on this idea is going to be the big one. A studio is going to pick me up. Just bypass the studio completely.
Okay.
That is my best advice to you. When you do a self-funded project, just take your time because you want all the pieces to come together real clean. Produce the project yourself, and then those studios will come crawling. They will. I mean, it happens all the time. So when you do it, then when they see that you're investing in your own project, that's when they want to add money behind it. So I just say, if you're going to do it really good. Take your time doing it. Search and research everyone, including adding producers, your videographer, your boom mic, all those people who are going to be working on your team, and make sure you build really good relations and pay those people. Because you never know what other projects you got coming up, and you always want to make sure your invoices are paid. That's just what I think. That's my opinion.
That's a big one. That's a very big one.
Yeah. So, but that's all I got, Millichun. I appreciate you having me on the show, and shout out to all the people in the chat. I can't see them, but shout out to all the people in the chat. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Everybody loves you, Stephannie. You are really a staple in this social media influencer world, right? I just need you to know that you are a really big deal. And I personally, this was really for me today. Not so much for everybody else, but I'm glad everybody came. But it really was for me to say thank you.
Well, I appreciate that. You're very welcome, Millichun.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed working with you.
Yeah. So, y'all, thank y'all for being here. And it's your girl Millichun with Stephannie, the Chief Nosy Bystander. Y'all, let's look out for her, and we're gonna support you to no end. Because I'm going to post the mess out of whatever it is
what I really need is a bunch of bloggers to review the reality shows, because that's how the reality shows get on. You got to have a blogger who's going to go.
Send it to me. Just send it to me. Send it to me, and I got you.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Let's just sit back for a minute and let me say goodbye. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much. And it's your girl, Millichun. Thank you for being here, Millichun TV. And I will talk to you all later. Bye.